game.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And Benjamin seems to be in some pain. You see him there, still down. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
This is Gordon as they go to him again. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now Gordon on first down. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Mike Williams, the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
On 3rd down, this is Melvin Gordon. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice game. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Here's Drew Butler in his 6th year from Georgia to punt this away. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They're led out by their quarterback, who's in his 16th season now in the league, way back when he played at Sam Houston State, Josh McCown.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
Here we go now. Green.
They go again with McGuire. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. He'll get 3 up to midfield. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Less than a minute to go here in a scoreless first quarter to this point. Again, they go with Todman, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. The starters on defense here for Los Angeles.
Isn't it funny, Brandon, back in the good old days, we rarely spotlighted defensive tackles, but in this case we have to. Corey Liuget is one of those guys who's been a base player, taking on double and triple teams. Now he shed a little weight in the offseason, trying to get a little quicker, wants to make a few more plays upfield.
Throwing is McCown on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete. The secondary, Charles, much maligned during the week. They didn't have their best game in the loss last week, but a nice play there.
Yeah, and I just know what they went through last week. I mean, ever since that time, their pride was hurt. They kept getting reminded of it in the local media, had to watch it on tape, and, you know, the coaches just got after them. They came in ready to play.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And just 1 tick to go, so this will obviously be the final play of this first quarter. On 1st and 10, Rivers. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. So 1 quarter in the books here on Christmas Eve. Can't wait to see what the second quarter has in store. And we will return to MetLife Stadium after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. Off the play fake here, Rivers. It's complete right side to Benjamin. Past the 20. Touchdown, L.A. Travis Benjamin, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Chargers get the quick strike touchdown.
Partner, you know what the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches a football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. Josh Lambo now for the point after. And the Chargers grab the 7-0 lead. Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. We remind you, no night game tonight on Christmas Eve, but we make that up with 2 games under your tree tomorrow. Oh, that's nice. Yes. I'm just reading the card. I got to give props to our writer, Ed Brady, there. But we start with the Steelers and Texans at 4:30 Eastern, followed by the Raiders and Eagles, a Super Bowl 15 rematch. You impressed that I know that?
I'm very much impressed that you know that. Who was the MVP?
Yep, that'll be at 8:30 Eastern from Philadelphia. They go play action here on first down. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Melvin Ingram in there for the sack, and he's closing in on that all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance.
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Melvin Ingram in there for the 20th time this year as he continues what could be a record-setting season.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one goes sailing out of bounds. Where did it cross? Well, they're going to say on this side of midfield. So out come the Chargers. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
On the counter, here's Gordon. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Rivers to throw it. Finds his target. It's Gates. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. 17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a first down.
Do you get the sense, Brandon, that people are trying to retire Antonio Gates? They keep thinking this is almost the end of the line, and then he keeps making catches like the one we just saw there.
He's the old reliable, you're right, just one of 9 players in the NFL with 100 or more touchdowns. They'll run it now out of the gun. Gordon loses the football. It's loose. But a Chargers player was able to fall on it, and they'll keep possession. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. A reminder coming up at halftime while the two of us head for warmer areas of the press box. Yes. We'll be sending you to Orlando where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half.
Send me to Orlando, please.
Don't be so soft. Now a second down throw for Rivers. Right side catch. This is Gates. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Meanwhile, taking a look at what's going on in KC. And the Chiefs have jumped out to an early lead in their ball game. Alex Smith leading the way offensively. On third down, Rivers sets up the screen to Gordon. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And Lambeau will put this one through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front 7. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And, partner, let me make a quick pivot here. Season winding down. They're number 32 in offense this year. The last in the league. Where do they go?
Anywhere and everywhere. But they have to do it with a plan. And I think about Atlanta a bunch of years ago. They decided they wanted to get what they thought was going to be a franchise quarterback. And, indeed, he is, Matt Ryan. But they had to supplement it. They went free agency, got a running back, came back and traded back into the first round in the same draft to get a left tackle to protect him. Really supplemented that pick, complemented that pick, and went to the playoffs the very next year.
So maybe they can use that and carbon copy it. And that'll be incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. And now it's 2nd down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Shotgun here for McCown. That's caught by the rookie from Cal, Chad Hansen. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And let's not take for granted, in these conditions, that's never an easy pass and catch.
You really got to find a way to drive the ball. You know, get your grip. You know, that's why we see some of the guys now that put the gloves on when they throw the ball in this type of a condition. Sometimes the glove might make it too slippery. So you've got to figure out what's going to work for you. But how about the receivers? Looking back and trying to locate the ball coming through snow and making sure they have full concentration.
McCown will try again on 2nd down. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Now McCown. Got a man. It's the rookie Ardarius Stewart. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So this offensive unit, they've now had 3 drives, and they only have 3 points to show for it.
Payoff is the key for everything. How many offenses have we talked to that say we have to finish drives? Thus far, this team hasn't finished it quite the way they wanted to.
Now after the made field goal, Catanzaro to boot this one away on the kickoff. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
So we've reached halftime here. Let's throw in a broadcaster cliche, shall we? Both teams looking for a gift on Christmas Eve. As we'll send you down the coast to Orlando. Happy holidays, Larry. Your gift? Take the halftime show off, partner. We've got some football to get to. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. A second quarter score from KC. And the Chiefs have jumped out to an early lead in their ball game. Alex Smith with 1 touchdown pass thus far. And let's look now at Josh McCown as we focus in on our player spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. No gain on the play there. Second down. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
Now McCown. Caught. Safarian Jenkins, right side. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
On third down, it's McGuire. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for New York. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to have a third down.
So statistically, both of these offenses have a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. 8 yards there and a first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Now Rivers going to give to Gordon on the draw. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep in the hands of those runners, keep moving it, keep grinding clock.
And a catch made by Dontrell Inman. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Here's Drew Butler now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. He finds some open field here. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him. We're off to the fourth quarter here on Christmas Eve. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Jet football, but they trail here as we start the fourth quarter.
Green, 39! Green!
Back to the air on second down. McCown throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down. Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup. And he slings one that's incomplete. Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for. And that'll bring up second down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one. No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with McCown. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Jeremiah Tauchu in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. McCown throwing on second, and complete over the middle, Safarian Jenkins. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Green 39. Green 39.
On the carry, this is McGuire. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created the push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
They go again with Oliver. He'll be dropped at the 30. The first broken tackle couldn't bust him free. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
To throw is Rivers. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. A big play there for the Chargers on 3rd down. 52 yards.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. And now a 1st down following that long gain. From the red zone now, Rivers. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. In the red zone this time. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. They run it here with Oliver. And that is what you call a hit stick. Put down to the ground hard. So they pick up the 1st down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. Throwing Raiders. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Second and goal. Defense digging in again here. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it third and goal. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on third?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
And Lambeau will put this one through. On the NFL scoreboard, they've gone to the 4th in Cincinnati. And it was the Lions who emerged victorious in that one. Theo Riddick, a touchdown run to help lead the way. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. To throw is McCown. Complete to Stewart, right side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Well, partner, there's something special about a game in the snow. Just always fun in these elements, although a little chillier up here in the open-air booth. The only thing that's not fun is that we got the mid-game notification that our flight was canceled tonight, but we'll deal with that later. It was really a fun game to watch, though.
It was, and there is something special about games played in the snow because the element of surprise really kicks in. You don't know how they're going to handle the ball, if someone's going to make a dramatic play just out of nowhere, and all of a sudden it just changes the course of things. But a big shout out to our crew to make sure that we were comfortable up here, as comfortable as one could be. In these elements, they took care of us and made sure we were dressed properly.
So for our visitors, the win moves them to 8-7 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Oakland to take on the Raiders. Meanwhile, for the Jets, this will mark an unlucky loss number 13 for them. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. So long, everybody.